just like that, we signify the start of our Facebook Live with Robert getting a phone call. So I want to thank you guys for stopping in. So the big thing that we wanted to cover, see, we got someone wanting to buy the house right now. So the big thing that I wanted to cover with you guys today is, so we talked about yesterday of, when a deal gets pulled off the market and, the people who had made offers before kind of see that as a sign of weakness and will come back and kind of lowball you. So, they might say, hey, my offer fell through. Are you still interested at your certain price? And so sometimes what happens, people are like, well, something's wrong with the house. There's something that happened. There has to be something about the house that maybe we missed when we looked at it the first time. So there's no way that we're going to make the same offer. Well, remember what we talked about yesterday is that this is the time where you can't panic. You have to make sure that you keep your cool and just you go back one step. So yesterday when we talked about remarketing the property, the one thing that we kind of left out that we wanted to talk about today was that, how to get more money after a buyer backs out is that, remember, even though these people are changing their offers, they're still real offers. There's still legitimate interest in the property, and you can play that to new people. So for example, today we redid our social media campaign. We redid our emails. We basically started generating a whole lot more buzz, and my guy Robert, his phone has been ringing off the hook. As a result, again, there's that short period of sifting through the muck. Some people who are real, not so real, pretending to be real. But the big thing is that we've probably had 5 offers today? 4 offers today on the house, all in ranging areas, and a lot are back up and above. And the nice thing is that we did too is that we got another contractor out to check out the house a little bit more to kind of re-verify what it might be, if there are any red flags whatsoever, or something that we looked over.
Sure.
And we even went over a few different ways to figure out whether or not we can squeeze some more money. So seeing if there's an ability to.
I'll reach back out to you tomorrow and just kind of follow up with you, tell you exactly where I'm at, and we'll go from there. Okay?
There you go.
All right, no problem.
Cool. So now that we have Robert back, so just another person interested in the house?
No,
not even interested.
Total waste of time.
Total waste of time. See, so we told you when we started remarketing the property, what happens? A lot of posers.
Yeah. No. We've got a lot of people interested in the house. I mean, because what's interesting is, hey, they were interested in the house before. They're still interested in the house now. There's no reason to downplay anything that we've got. One thing that you can figure out really quick is that, hey, did you have people that were really serious about this thing or not originally? Because you just put them to the task of like, hey, you know what? Your offer that you made all 48 hours ago, we'll take it. When they start backpedaling on it, like, that's fine. They were never going to close anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. But we're going to find a good home for this house. And there's a lot of different options that we can go ahead and come up with. One of the things that we, since we're looking at it right now, we have access to another general contractor is, what if we rehab the house?
So a quick little rewind is that obviously you guys know that we wholesale and whatnot, and we'll kind of, as it builds out more, we'll explain to you guys kind of what's going on. But we added someone else to our team who happens to be a general contractor with his own crews and all of that stuff. So he blew it's a lot easier. Rob takes far less convincing on whether or not to do rehab work when he's got his own general contractor now to do his bidding.
Yeah. Well, when he's telling me that he can get the house done in 2 to 3 weeks, I know one that's a doable number if somebody's really going to do it, and it means that I don't have to go there and just watch everybody do it. Wow, that's what I really need. So, it's something that we'll take a look at because big thing on these things is you take a look at all your options. You make sure that you're really doing the best deal. The thing with this is like if we can make an extra 30, 40, $50,000 by rehabbing it, let's rehab.
Because that was a big thing. So let's we'll pause on that for a second. And what I mean by that is, so guys, what do we always talk about? We talk about most amount of money, least amount of time possible. And so basically by us entertaining the idea of even doing some sort of remodel to it, what it is that we are hedging against the potential that maybe maybe we don't get those big monster offers back.
Right.
And so what we have done is that we're started to break down the numbers as to how much time is this going to take, because the 2.5 weeks is the time that it would take to basically remodel the entire house to our liking, man. And that's,
this phone doesn't stop.
Never. It's a race.
It's crazy.
My phone rings or Rob's phone rings. That's what happens when you have a functioning business. And so the big thing is though, so we've started to analyze both of our opportunities, because the thing is like, well, if we can start work on it right away and it's only going to take a couple of weeks, we might be out of it by the same time.
Right.
So that's something to think, is that now that we've had to put the pause button on it, could it be worth it to lengthen it out a little bit? Because either way, I don't think any of the alternatives that we're looking at, even from start to build to finish to sell, I don't think that we're looking at 6 weeks.
Because what we're looking at right now is that we have several different options. One is that we can sell this to a wholesaler. 2 is we could try and find an end buyer for it. 3 is that we could actually go ahead and list it on the MLS ourselves. If we go ahead and do that, there's going to be some different challenges that go with that. We're going to tell everybody we want a cash buyer. 4 is that we can actually go ahead and start rehabbing a little bit of the house. This house needs a new roof. This is something that we've said since day one, since minute one, this thing needs a new roof. We can put a new roof on it, then go ahead and push it out to everybody that we have beneath those options. So we could go put a new roof on it, see if we can find an investor that wants it, and we'll put a higher number on it. See if we can find an end buyer, which I'm really, really confident we could find an end buyer if we threw a new roof on there, but it's going to be at a much higher price.
And that might be worth it.
And it might be.
Because what do we always tell you guys? When you get into a property, have multiple exit strategies. And that's exactly what we're deploying right now, because there's no panic anymore.
No.
It's, okay, cool. You know what? We might have to go to plan B, and plan B is rehabbing it. But you know what? Plan B doesn't suck either. Plan A was just faster.
Right.
And so, that's how you extract it, because our marketing campaign is doing really well. It's starting to generate a lot more interest. Not that we didn't have enough interest before, it's just that we wanted to be out lightning quick. I mean, we were talking 4 days. I mean, and realistically, we could be out in 4 days. I mean, we could be closed in 4 days.
95% of the situations, this would have been done in 4 days. This was it's very rare that you have somebody that will actually back out at closing. Because they put up earnest money, they put up option money.
It's a fluke situation. I mean,
Whatever.
in our situation, the people actually called the title company to schedule the closing time, and then 10 minutes later called back and canceled.
Right.
It happens. It's life. Clearly you can see Rob and I are upset. We had 5 minutes of momentary being upset, and it's like back to the.
It sucked really bad for about 10 seconds.
Yep, and it's kind of like when Mini-Me died on Austin Powers, and it was like, he's inconsolable for 10 minutes until he gets a new one. Exactly. Or is it Mini-Me? Yeah, it was Mini-Me or Mr. Bigglesworth. One of the two. I think it was Mini-Me. Either way, he'd be inconsolable for 10 minutes. And that was kind of like us. So, I mean, that's the big thing, guys. It's like, so to squeeze more money out of the deal, we just deployed the same marketing strategy, but now we're leveraging our plan B, and that is potentially rehabbing it, working it through even further. Because again, just like we would be panicking more if we only had one potential buyer. The same thing goes with, we'd be panicking even more if we only had one exit strategy.
If you only have one strategy, then it's all or nothing. And so don't put yourself in an all or nothing situation.
Because then you might be forced to take the smaller offer.
That's absolutely right. Like right now, I don't know if any of y'all watch the World Series of Poker. It's something that I watch all the time. It's on right now. They're actually playing right now in Vegas, which hurts my heart.
He'll be there.
I'm not there. But what happens is that in that game, you want to make sure that you can put the opponent in a situation where they have to put all their eggs in one basket or all their chips on one
and they
hand.
start to question themselves as to whether or not it's worth it.
And that's where you have the advantage. Now, what that means is that you don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Always leave yourself the outs.
Give yourself outs. Yeah. And that's the whole idea with this is, especially now, if we've got access to a contractor and a crew that can go ahead and actually do the work that would be needed to do on this thing, we think that the house would sell retail for about $200,000. Okay, we might do that. That might make sense. Yeah,
a worthwhile investment versus what we paid, put in, and get off. But that's how it goes. So guys, that's the big thing. How to make more money is it's having the multiple exit strategies while also redeploying your marketing. Because remember, the original offers you have, they're still offers. So you can still play them off of the new ones that came in. So that's the big thing, is that you've got to remember is that there's no harm in remarketing it, because the new offers that come in is like, I've got 14 offers. Mm-hmm. They might be all over the board, but it's still 14 people who have committed to give you money.
Right.
And it's helping us the second round, because now, the offers are all far more north than they were before. So we've got that working in our favor, and you guys can have that working in your favor too, as long as you deploy the right strategies. So that's all we've got for today. We'll give you an update tomorrow, because like sands through the hourglass, these are the days of our lives.
Yep, and other properties we're looking at tomorrow. So hopefully we'll talk to you about some of those too.
Bing, bang, boom, pow. All right, guys. Remember, if it don't make dollars, don't make sense. I better see you here tomorrow.